There are many great things about Italy, like their food, but really another very important part of Italy, to me at least, is their theater. Yes, to me. Now, this started back with the Renaissance in the years 1300s to the 1600s. The Renaissance was about people, and they really discovered human achievement. It was like physics, medicine, art, music, and theater. In the early 1300s, Italian writers tried to make their own plays based off of other Roman plays, but they couldn't really capture that greatness that Hrotstiv's work did. Hrostiva was a German poet and drama playwright who was like really amazing to them. At first they started with Roman tragedies, they later moved on to Roman styled comedies. These were great and all, but they were written in Latin and they were never meant to be performed. So then fast forward to the early 1400s. The nobles, they're sitting in the banquet hall, and one of them has this idea, hey, let's turn this banquet hall into a theater and play some of those plays. So they turned the banquet hall into a theater. They started playing these plays still in Latin, which meant they did not have a clue what they were saying. So then they had another great idea a couple of years later. They decided, how about we write these in our own language so that we understand them? Revolutionary, I know. This became known as neoclassical. What this was classical and new. It was neoclassical plays. So now, let's fast forward to 1498. Aristotle's Poetics, they're reaching the globe, everybody's reading them, they're loving them, following them, trying to make some good plays. The Italians said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to get rid of the choruses, okay? That's garbage. We're going to make ours really realistic, okay? And our tragedies are mostly going to have happy endings because we just love happiness. And this became known as tragicomedies. These plays were always like privately shown off. They were played at schools, courtrooms, and they were always in honor of somebody. And as the same with the banquet plays, these were mostly for nobles. This is great, but where the Italians really made their mark on history with theater was with stagecraft. They invented things such as the trap door for people to come up under, and like rigging, where you have something and you over the string and you pull it down. That was the Italians. They introduced shifting scenery in the 17th century. They did this by having grooves in the floor and like different wings in each groove, and they would just pull them out when they have the next scene. What they do is they would paint on it, done, in. And not only did they do that, they are the ones that invented the proscenium arch stage. Basically the stage that you will see everywhere. It's like the Broadway stage. And during this time, they were so generous, so generous. They wanted to share their crafts with the rest of the people. They made how-to books on how to create these different things. They had stuff for like fire effects, oceans, like how to make oceans. I don't know how they did that, but hey, don't question Italians. They made it seem like you had clouds in the actual like sky of your theater. They would make objects have like wind and thunder noises. Now obviously there was no electricity at this time, so all of this was done with their hard work, which meant it was it got sweaty. It got incredibly sweaty, and obviously you're in a theater, it's gonna get dark, you need lights. What lights did they use? Candles and oil lamps, which means it was incredibly hot in there. I cannot talk about Italian theater without mentioning Commedia dell'arte. Commedia dell'arte. Commedia dell'arte. Commedia dell'arte directly translates to theater of the professional, and it was highly improvised and really comedic. I mean, like, this was the funniest thing to them at the time. Commedia dell'arte really just popped off, okay? It was like going around Europe, everybody was doing this. Shakespeare took a little Commedia dell'arte, it was crazy. And even to this day, it's still being seen everywhere with sitcoms, slapstick comedy, improv comedy. It's really a big part of what makes comedy and drama so comedic now. It's interesting to see how much has stayed the same, but how much has changed throughout all of this history. So now I hope at least the next time someone mentions Italy, you think about theater instead. Thank you for listening, and have a good day, and peace!